Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. My name is Edgar Calva, and I actually wanted to give you guys an update on my propagation on my variegated Monstera Adansonii. Um, as you guys can see, this is my mother plant. This is my leading cutting, and I have three one leaf or one nut cuttings or whatever you guys want to call them. So I actually did this propagation on last month on the 24th. So this is the next Tuesday. It'll be on the 22nd of October. It'll be the 4-week mark. I can already see a lot of the stuff that's been going on with this plant. I'm actually really happy because this process has been a lot quicker than what I expected. The one nut cuttings or the leaf cuttings are two of them already actually started creating a separate shoot. Haven't seen any progress on the root system yet, so that's something that I'm actually keeping a close eye on. As you guys can see on this side, I have my propagation on a little cup of water. To change it at least once a week. Right now it's a little dirty, so I apologize when I actually take a close up of the actual plant. But so far they have been doing really well. I have read online that when you propagate any type of Monstera Adansonii, a 50-50 chance of the cutting root rotting, and the fact that none of them have done it yet, it's definitely giving me hope. So yeah, this one actually already has a root system, maybe around an inch or so. I'm actually really happy with this one because it has it created opposite roots. It's definitely doing really good on this type of media that I have it in. My mother plant actually, in the other hand, I mean, as you guys already know, cutting your plant creates growth. And I did not expect what I'm seeing on my mother plant. I'm actually really excited, and I'm actually really glad that I did this propagation and I actually cut it down. And I'm actually really happy that I spent the time that I did to actually focusing on my plant creating a better root system, because it's creating more than 5 shoots, and I'll be happy if 3 of them make it, and they actually, three of those shoots develop, like a different stems and a different plant or whatever with different variegation. So I'm really happy with the results that I'm getting at the moment. So let's get to it. All right. So let's start off with the mother plant. I wanted to show you guys, give you guys a close up of all the little nuts that have been developing on my little stem. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm actually just wanted to mention something because I know someone brought it up on one of the comments on past videos. They did mention that they said that my soil looked like it was too dense, right? So this is the top soil. Now let me tell you guys, when I actually got this plant, it came with a bunch of perlite, different type of materials in there to help it with to have a good drainage and stuff. So for me, what has worked for me, it's actually putting a little bit of dense soil on top just so it retains the moisture. And that's how I've been able to create some of the little nubs or area roots to actually develop into root systems. So that's mainly, I actually wanted to clear that up just because I don't want anybody just to kind of do what I did and just stick it in all soil, and eventually your plant dying. So it's only, I would like to say maybe it's like around an inch where it's the soil, and it just looks, because to be honest, it's not even that much because it has a lot of other materials in here. So it's not really what it looks like, but I actually wanted to bring that up so you guys are not thinking something different, or actually trying to change your soil just because you see it on mine. So as you guys can see here, this is I'm using a regular formula. I'll give you guys a picture of what I'm using. Apparently, it's like a root starter mix. It comes like in a little block, and when you put it on water, it expands, and it retains a lot of moisture. So this is what it's definitely helping the plant to develop a better root system. And you know, on this side, I have them on just regular water propagation, and I'm actually waiting on the plant to develop some type of root, so I can be able to transfer it into something like this. In my own opinion, what I think works the best is propagating it in water propagation. And then once you actually see a root within, you know, it's maybe an inch or so, then transfer it into like a media that has a lot of drainage. I also like to use you know, you know, here's the thing though, with me personally, I don't like to do all this craziness that other people do with a bunch of different materials and creating your own soil. To be honest, with what I use for my own plants and what has worked for me has been 60%, 40% perlite, 60% Miracle Grow soil. And that's what works for me, and my plants are healthy, and it's just a lot easier than having to buy different products and mixing them all together and, you know, finding 40, 60, 20 or whatever, 10 or whatever percentages to add into your soil. And honestly, I think that's just a lot of work, and it's something that I'm not going to keep on doing for the long term. So this is what works for me. If you guys ask me what type of soil do I use, yes, I do use Miracle Grow, and it's I believe it's the yellow bag, and I just mix it with perlite, and I use 60% of Miracle Grow and 40% perlite, and that works perfectly fine for me. So let's start with my mother plant. All right, so we're gonna do a close up, and we'll be back. Okay, you guys, so we are back. If you take a look at the stem of my mother plant, you guys can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 little stems coming out of this plant. Now, this is why it's so important to have your plant have a really good root system. Now, as you guys can see, starting from the bottom, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically, I cut 6 leaves off, and then I basically made this stem be the actual part of the root system, right? So here's where I did the cut, and it was probably about this big, the whole chunk that I cut off. So as you guys can see, the root system is well developed, that it's creating a bunch of shoots all over the place. And I'm sure that at least 3 of these little shoots are actually going to develop into a plant. So I'm actually really happy about this, and I'll keep giving you guys an update on this. So let's move on and actually show you guys the other cuttings and the other propagations. All right. All right, everybody. So now that we did the close-up on my mother plant, I actually want to show you guys the little root system on my leading cutting that I did on my Adansonii, and let's see how well this is developing. Okay, so we're actually going to lift up the plant a little. We're going to try not to disturb the actual root system, and I'll show you guys what it's looking like. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, you guys, so this is my leading cutting of the Monstera Adansonii. You guys can see it was a 2-leaf cutting, and a new leaf is actually coming out. So I wanted to show you guys how is the root system going, okay? Pulling it up real quick. Okay, so you guys can see it's creating a really good root system. Okay, we see no rooting, great. Rotting, sorry, not rooting. See, as you guys can see, this cutting is doing really, really well. I'm pretty happy with this one compared to the other ones. Okay, let's put it back. All right, guys. So that's what it looks like. It's definitely growing pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the result. So now let me actually show you guys my three one nut or one leaf cutting. Okay, so let me actually put it in a close up, and then I'll show you guys one by one. Okay. As you guys can see, this one has a little bit of browning on the corner. That's pretty normal, no problem. Now looking at the two cuttings, those two already created a shoot. This one hasn't, but no root system. So far, I'm pretty happy with what's going on here. So, yeah. So there you guys have it. That's the update on how my plant is actually doing. Now, I know you guys have been messaging me about cuttings, how, you know, if I'm gonna sell them, you guys want to be the first ones in line. I completely understand. Go ahead and follow me on social media. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram and even on Snapchat if you guys like to. And that's where I'll be posting the updates of when I'm planning on putting them on the market. And then, you know, we can just proceed from there. I want to be able to, if I'm going to sell a cutting of this plant, I want to be able to provide, you know, a plant with a well-root system. You know, I don't want to sell something that later on is going to die within a couple months or a couple weeks just because, you know, if you guys are not experienced with this type of plant, I don't want it to die on you guys. So I definitely want to make sure that they have a well-rooted system for me to be able to put them on the market. So that's it. I mean, you guys, if you guys, I will be posting updates on the cuttings. I'm thinking of doing them at least once a month for the next month, for the next 2 to 3 months. So if you guys want to see the updates on my propagation, then go ahead and, like I said, follow me on social media, like, subscribe, and comment if you have any other questions, or you guys want me to show something particular about the plant or a little bit more tips on the care. Let me know, you guys, and I'll definitely answer the questions or even make a separate video if I have to. Thank you and have a great day.